The trade war has been paused. How can you make money out of the trade war being paused? It's pretty simple. You want to make businesses that are growing because of the pause, you look at businesses that are shrinking because of the pause, and you look at businesses that are changing because of the pause. Because there are three types of businesses, because the tariffs used to be, over 100% to China, from US to China, and then now it got pushed back by 90 days. And so is Trump bluffing? Is he not bluffing? We don't know. But you can make money in three ways. You look at businesses that are suffering because of the tariffs. I used to know two people. They created a business that depends on selling goods from Chinese factories to US kids. It was like they got a bunch of toys, plushy toys, and then they sold it to a bunch of kids. And from they partnered with YouTubers, like with hundreds of millions of subscribers, and they sold their plushie toys to their people. They made tons of money with this. Hundreds of millions of dollars were made. But the issue and the thing, here's the issue. The issue is now that this tariff happened, and when it goes above 100, trade with China basically becomes impossible. So businesses like that, unless they have some sort of plan outside of these Chinese factories, are in serious trouble. And so one thing is you can go and you can make money by consulting them, by helping them by helping these businesses change, or helping this business, or even just buy these businesses outright. You can actually use other people's money to buy a business. Sometimes even the business owners can lend you their own money to buy the business if they really don't want to be part of it. Because just the fact that the instability happened, even though the tariffs have been paused for 90 days, just because of this instability, the valuation of those businesses will go down. Because a business is literally valued based on how sure it is that it's going to make future cash flows. So the certainty of these types of businesses making future cash flows has been diminished immensely because of the instability. That piece of property behind me is in a place called Gatineau. And Gatineau is more unstable than Ontario, Canada, because Gatineau is part of a place called Quebec that wanted to leave Canada. And since then, it became more unstable, quote unquote. And the real estate gets cheaper because the certainty of future cash flows changes and gets more uncertain. And when you look at real estate, you look at businesses where things are more stable, you have a higher chance of making money in the long term. So that's why you can make a lot of money by buying these businesses. If the tariffs come back, then maybe you bought a business that's worth the price. If the tariffs don't come back, then you've made a lot of money. So you perhaps buy these businesses with other people's money and have some sort of clause with two situations. But ideally, you're making the worst case situation and you're writing that down. Now, you can look at businesses that are growing because the idea is that Trump wants people to not use Asian suppliers so that people can build manufacturing plants in America instead. So, just if you build manufacturing plants in America, or people rush to hire workers in America to do the things that the Chinese companies were doing, then they'll make a lot more money. At least they won't get tariff, as long as the cost to create the goods is not way higher, which it will be, which is why a lot of people are saying that the tariffs are disadvantageous. That being said, yeah, go ahead and literally just build and raise money and create factories, or do anything that consults people or shows people how to hire in the US, build factories in the US, create companies in the US, create structures in the US, and build things in the US. Anything along those lines will likely make a lot of money. And then now next is like the businesses that are changing. Because anything that's changing, like instead of depending so much on China, people may depend on India for their supply, because there's some countries that haven't been tariffed nearly as much as China. And so those countries, your people are building plants, people are looking for alternatives. And so if you're an expert in understanding where people are building what plants and what suppliers coming from where when it comes to physical goods, then you can divert the existing traffic from China. And when it comes to the other side, if you're in a developing country or in another country that's not the West, then you can look for a different trade partner outside of the US and serve other markets. The issue and the thing is, America is a fantastic market to do business with. So most people are more interested, unless you have some sort of special niche that you're doing really well in. most people in general seem to be more interested in just doing business with the US from another country. So look at and evaluate the different countries to do business with. And then if you put all three together, you can look at a business that's doing bad or undervalued because of this situation. You can then buy it using other people's money or consult them to show them how they can improve their business by changing their routes and changing how they buy supplies and buy goods, or you can get them to build or buy in the US. And whichever one is cheaper, you can get them to do that, or you can just get them to do a little bit of both, to make sure that you have both your bases covered. And once you have both your bases covered, you should be in a really good position to make sure that you'll be able to make money regardless of what happens. Either you hire people, or sorry, not hire, either you get people to do consulting, further stuff, you get people to buy businesses using other people's money that are distressed, or you even can sell businesses to make sure that, or broker businesses to find investors between new businesses, as long as you're compliantly able to do so, because it's a highly regulated field. So with this, that's been that. It's been a crazy tariff period, but regardless of the noise, you can take advantage of it and make sure you do the best you can to take advantage of it. And with this, we'll see you in the next video.